When this young lady was warned to stay away from a house with a purple fence, she was confused and a bit scared. Later on, she discovered the shocking reason why. "Don't go near it," 11-year-old Bellerose, Jenner's new friend and neighbor, warned, her eyes wide with alarm after seeing Jenner stalk towards the house with the ominous purple paint on its fence. But Jenner May was a master at stirring trouble. As a rebellious 15-year-old, she was constantly on the go, doing the wrong things and being at the wrong place at the wrong time. Her mom and aunt were at their wits' end when it came to disciplining the unruly young lady, and Jenner, aware of her excesses, did not make things any easier for them. That was until she encountered the house with the purple fence in the spring of 2005. Jenner stared at her with her eyebrows raised in question, expecting her to shed more light on her initial warning. The younger girl shrunk under the slightly intimidating gaze. "My parents told me to stay away from houses with purple paint," she said, almost under her breath. Then, scanning the house, she muttered with a bolder tone, "Something's not right." Jenner's brown eyes trailed from Bellerose's serious expression to the house about 15 feet away from them. They had stumbled on it while taking a detour to the convenience store, and Jenner itched to check it out. It was not dreary or old, like abandoned haunted houses. Instead, it appeared very modern, with a pearly fence that had purple blotches all over it. What could probably happen in such a cool-looking place? Since she, her mom, and aunt moved to this part of Arkansas 2 months ago, this house would be the second one with this kind of colored fence. She had never thought much of it, but seeing how little Bellerose was reacting to it, she couldn't help but wonder what it could be. With no internet cafe or locals nearby, Jenner had only her little neighbor to feed her curiosity. So she asked Bellerose what the purple fence indicated. However, nothing could have prepared her for the shocking words that would reach her ears. "My mom says it's a sign for a group of ex-convicts, really bad people. They mark their territory with purple paint to keep others away." Jenner looked at Bellerose as if she were the strangest person she had ever met. Perhaps she was indeed the strangest, seeing how she was willing to be friends with a troublemaker like her. But a purple fence? Being a warning sign for ex-convicts? That was absolutely ridiculous. Not to be insensitive, but the house was too nice to be branded for that reason. The air was heavy with disbelief, and Bellerose sensed it like a looming presence. "I'm serious." She stomped the ground childishly, her face flushed crimson. "If they catch you near their territory, you'll disappear." Jenner's scoff echoed through the quiet neighborhood dot. She couldn't shake off the feeling that Bellerose's mom had fabricated the whole story to keep her daughter in line. The effort to do so only deepened her need to know, and there was no beating Jenner's curious and rebellious nature. After all, she had a reputation for pushing boundaries. Jenner was on a mission to let loose and cause her mom a bit of trouble while at it. It all started because of her parents' messy divorce. Her dad, who was her favorite person in the world, had custody of her younger brother, leaving her feeling lost and angry. Jenner's world turned bleak following this development. Her mom, thinking it was nice to seek a fresh start, decided to move to Arkansas along with her younger sister, Margot. As expected, Jenner was not the most ecstatic to hear the news. In this new environment, adaptation seemed near impossible. Her unfriendly demeanor shut down her chances of ever making friends, and the small town itself was boring, suffocating the life out of the stubborn teenager. So, she skipped school, wandered aimlessly, and often stayed out late to stay entertained. Jenner's eyes locked onto the house, her newest source of entertainment. She craved excitement, danger, and freedom. And the purple fence posed a new challenge, a dare to explore the unknown. "Come on, Bellerose," Jenner said, her voice low and persuasive. "Let's take a closer look." Bellerose's grip on Jenner's arm tightened. She shook her head violently. With a little more force, Jenner feared she could snap her neck. "No, Jenner, we can't." But Jenner was already moving forward, her heart pounding with anticipation. She told Bellerose over her shoulder to either run home or go to the convenience store if she wanted to chicken out. The little girl never protested and disappeared without a word. Jenner shook her head, disappointed. She expected nothing less from the wimp. As she approached the fence, the purple paint seemed to deepen, a deep sense of foreboding suddenly oozing off it like smoke. Jenner's skin tingled, but her curiosity propelled her forward. She leaned against the fence, feeling the cool wood beneath her palms. Then, with an adrenaline rush, Jenner scaled the fence and crossed the lawn, bold and undeterred. She was convinced that no one was home, seeing how everywhere was eerily quiet. The 15-year-old walked up the patio and rattled the doorknob, but it didn't budge. Gingerly, she skipped down the patio, her curious set of eyes drinking the house's exterior. Lazily, she walked around the house, scanning its perimeter. However, as she trudged around the corner, she froze on the spot when her eyes caught something extremely disturbing. Through the window, a face was staring at her. huge, bulging eyes shooting daggers at her point blank. Jenner's blood ran cold, and she swallowed hard. Immediately, regret washed over her, melting the shackles of her curiosity. "What have I done?" Jenner whispered to herself, her body trembling under the intense scrutiny. The face didn't move, its gaze fixed intently on hers. Jenner's heart pounded, her mind racing with worst-case scenarios. All of a sudden, Bellarosa's warnings echoed in her mind. "They'll make you disappear." Jenner's instincts screamed at her to flee, but her legs were surprisingly rooted to the spot. Likewise, the strange face's expression remained unreadable, its eyes seeming to bore into her soul. She knew it was someone, but who? Male or female? Most importantly, what would they do to her? The person kept staring and even cursed under their breath, before blinking and moving away from the window. Jenner's breath caught in her throat. She turned to run, but her feet felt heavy, as if trapped in a nightmare. Unbeknownst to her, this was only the beginning. Melody May was going about her normal day when she received a devastating call from the police. Her body shook with rage as she imagined the kind of trouble her daughter had got herself into this time around. But nothing could have prepared her for what she heard. Someone had brought Jenner to the station all shaken up. Melody was on her way. Before she could hear the rest of the call, her Nokia cell phone slammed on the desk. She hailed a cab and zoomed off to the police station, the sound of her pounding heartbeat muffling the noise of traffic. When she arrived at the station, she was surprised to find Jenner on a chair. Beside her was a middle-aged woman with an irritated scowl on her face. An officer introduced the woman as Madame Janssen, the owner of the property Jenner had trespassed. The woman's voice dripped with annoyance as she recounted the incident, stating how, despite the purple fence, the teenager had intruded on her grounds nonchalantly. "You'd think kids would know better." As she explained to the police and Melody, Jenner bowed her head in shame, her eyes avoiding her mother's gaze. Melody's expression turned stern. "What's this about purple paint?" she asked the officer. It was at this point that Jenner learnt the truth behind these colored fences, since her mind had been too unsettled to listen to Madame Janssen's rampage. The officer explained that the purple fence was a deterrence mechanism enacted through the Purple Fence Law, which was put into force in 1987, first in Arkansas, then in other parts of the United States. The law was created to protect residents from potential dangers. Hence, homes with purple paint were basically restricted areas, often due to criminal activity or safety concerns. Melody and Jenner have never felt so embarrassed in their lives. After much persuasion, Madame Janssen decided not to press charges again, excusing Jenner's behavior as a usual case of youthful exuberance. Although unfortunate, the eye-opening incident came with a few interesting changes. Jenner's rebellious tendencies began to fade that day. Although she never admitted it, the woman's face in the window still traumatized her, and she could never shake off the fear whenever she gazed into the window. Other than that, the incident made her mature, teaching her to respect boundaries and consider consequences. Years passed, and Jenner moved on with her life. She finished school, started a career, and built a family. Then in 2023, while on a trip to Texas with her son, they drove through a neighborhood. Purple fences lined the streets, triggering a mix of emotions. Her son asked, curious, "Mom, what's with the purple paint?" Jenner smiled wistfully, recalling the incident which was now a fond memory. "If you see a purple fence, just go the other way." She suddenly understood Bellarosa's parents' reason for lying. It was better safe than sorry, and the purple fence stood as a reminder of that lesson. What an enlightening story. What have you heard about houses with purple fences? Is it the same as the purple paint laws or something different? Let us know in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and stick around for more eye-opening stories like this.